In the sprawling expanse of the Milky Way, amidst a sea of stars and celestial phenomena, Earth stood as a quiet observer, nurturing its inhabitants with serene patience. Yet within the hidden depths of its oceans and the secrecy of its military compounds, humankind was not as passive as it appeared. Among these clandestine projects, one stood out: the construction of the USS Blackstar, a supercarrier unlike any other in the known universe. The USS Blackstar was birthed in the shadows, crafted from materials whispered to be indestructible, technology so advanced they bordered on the arcane. It was a ship designed not just for dominance in the known space, but as a spearhead into the unknown, a statement of Earth's readiness to stand as a power in the galactic stage. Captain Elena Marquez stood on the bridge of the Blackstar, her eyes scanning the vast array of screens and data feeds that blinked in a constant rhythmic dance. The crew around her worked in hushed tones, their movements precise, each one aware of the gravity their mission carried. "Captain, all systems are showing green. We are ready for the field test," announced Lieutenant Commander Jane, her voice a mixture of excitement and tension. Elena nodded, her face a mask of calm. "Initiate startup sequence. Let's see what she's truly capable of," she responded, her voice carrying through the bridge with an assertive clarity. As the sequence commenced, the Blackstar hummed to life, its engines a low growl that escalated into a harmonious roar. The ship's advanced propulsion systems engaged, creating ripples through the space-time continuum that could be felt even at the distant edges of the solar system. The test was a mere precursor to what the Blackstar was designed for. It was to be the first of its kind to use a warp drive capable of intergalactic travel, a technology developed in secrecy over decades. If successful, it would not only solidify Earth's place in the cosmos, but also intimidate any potential threats lurking in the dark recesses of space. Meanwhile, on the galactic frontier, word of the USS Blackstar's capabilities began to spread like wildfire. Intelligence operatives from various species, united under the vast umbrella of the Galactic Empire, scrambled to gather information. The Empire had long considered Earth to be a backwater planet, its inhabitants too primitive to pose any real threat. The revelation of the Blackstar shook this belief to its core. In a dimly lit chamber on the central world of the Empire, General Vrax, a towering figure clad in ornate armor, received the latest reports with a growing sense of unease. "They've built what?" he barked, his voice a mix of incredulity and fear. "A supercarrier, sir, with capabilities beyond our current understanding. It's called the USS Blackstar," replied his aide, a smaller, more nervous being who shuffled papers with trembling hands. General Vrax paced the room, his mind racing. The Blackstar could disrupt the balance of power in the galaxy. If Earth was capable of such feats, what more were they hiding? He knew that the Empire's response would have to be swift and decisive. Back on the Blackstar, as the ship completed its initial tests, Elena allowed herself a brief smile. The ship had performed flawlessly, exceeding even their high expectations. "Prepare to send the data back to command. They'll want a full report on everything," she instructed her crew. As Earth prepared to reveal its secret weapon to the galaxy, both in demonstration and diplomacy, the stage was set for a new chapter in galactic history. The USS Blackstar was not just a ship. It was a declaration, a challenge to the cosmos that humanity was here to stay, and they would not be ignored. Little did Elena know, the ripples caused by their test had already reached far and wide, igniting a series of events that would soon test the mettle of her crew and the very ideals Earth stood for. The galaxy watched, waited, and for some, plotted. The game had changed, and the USS Blackstar was now at the heart of it. As the USS Blackstar coasted through the void of space, hidden from prying eyes by its state-of-the-art cloaking technologies, Captain Elena Marquez convened a top-secret meeting with her senior staff in the war room. The room buzzed with low energy, the seriousness of their mission etched on every face. "We've got the eyes and ears of the galaxy on us sooner than expected," Elena began, her gaze locking with each of her officers. "It's crucial that we remain steps ahead of the Galactic Empire and any other entity that perceives us as a threat." Commander Tycho, the ship's strategic officer, leaned forward, his hands clasped tightly. We've intercepted communications suggesting the Empire is mobilizing a reconnaissance fleet. They're not just curious. They're alarmed and possibly gearing up for a confrontation. Elena nodded solemnly. Our mission parameters have shifted. We need to test the operational limits of the Blackstar while remaining undetected. Any suggestions on our next course of action? Lieutenant Sila, the chief science officer, spoke up, her voice steady. There's an uncharted nebula approximately 0.3 parsecs from our current location. Its ion storms could mask our energy signature, giving us the cover we need to run extended system checks and refine our cloaking algorithms. Make it so, Elena decided quickly. Set course for the nebula maximum warp. Engage cloaking and silence running protocols. As the Blackstar slipped into the shadow of the nebula, the crew worked with a focused intensity, aware that the margin for error was slim. Within the nebula, sensors were recalibrated and systems were pushed to their limits, each test providing valuable data while also presenting new challenges. Meanwhile, far from the nebula, on a space station orbiting a gas giant in the outer sectors of the Empire, a clandestine meeting took place. Several figures, obscured by the dim lighting, gathered around a holographic display showing the last known trajectory of the Blackstar. A figure stepped forward, the light glinting off their intricate cybernetic enhancements. The Blackstar possesses technology we underestimated. It's imperative we capture it to ensure our supremacy remains unchallenged, they stated, their mechanical voice devoid of emotion but filled with resolve. Another figure, shrouded in a flowing robe, raised a hand. We should consider deploying the Spectres. Their expertise in stealth and infiltration is unmatched. If anyone can board the Blackstar undetected, it's them. Agreed, the first replied. Dispatch the Spectres with orders to gather intelligence and sabotage the ship if possible. Earth must not be allowed to threaten the balance. Back aboard the Blackstar, as they emerged from the nebula, the crew felt a brief moment of triumph. Their systems had performed admirably, yet their celebration was cut short by an urgent alert from the bridge. Captain, we've detected anomalies in our propulsion trail. It appears we're not as hidden as we thought, reported the helmsman, his voice tense. Elena's expression hardened. Alert all decks. It seems we might have company sooner than we anticipated. Prepare for possible hostile engagement. As the crew braced for what was to come, the galaxy's intricate dance of power continued to evolve. With the Blackstar now fully operational and a mysterious threat emerging from the shadows, the stakes were higher than ever. In the vast, unforgiving expanse of space, every decision could tip the balance of power, and Elena knew that the fate of Earth might well rest on the shoulders of her and her crew. As the USS Blackstar maneuvered through the cosmic labyrinth of star systems and asteroid fields, its sensors on high alert, the tension aboard was palpable. Captain Elena Marquez paced the bridge, her mind racing with strategies and contingencies. "Report, Lieutenant," she demanded, stopping beside the main console where Lieutenant Sila was analyzing the incoming data streams. "Captain, I've detected multiple stealth craft on an intercept course. Spectral analysis suggests they're using a cloaking technology that's not in our database. Likely these are the Spectres we were warned about," Sila replied, her voice calm despite the implications. "Options?" Elena asked, turning to Commander Tycho. "We could try to outrun them, but if their tech is superior, that might expose more vulnerabilities. Alternatively, we could set a trap, use our perceived vulnerability as bait and counterattack when they reveal themselves," Tycho proposed. Elena considered this. Prepare the trap. Configure the rear shields to simulate a failure. When they move in, hit them with everything we've got. The crew set to work, creating a complex illusion of technical difficulties. As the Blackstar continued on its path, seemingly unaware of the impending threat, the hidden Spectres drew closer, confident in their technological superiority. In the darkness of space, the trap was sprung. The Blackstar's rear shields flickered and dropped, just as planned. The Spectres, cloaked and silent, surged forward, eager to exploit the weakness. "Activate full spectrum pulse now," Elena commanded. The ship emitted a blinding burst of electromagnetic energy, a spiderweb of light that ripped through space. The pulse disrupted the Spectre's cloaking devices, revealing them as shadows against the starlit backdrop. Before they could recover, the Blackstar unleashed a barrage of laser fire and missiles. Caught off guard, the Spectres scrambled to regain control. But it was too late for some. 2 ships were destroyed instantly, and another was severely damaged, limping away into the void. The remaining attackers, realizing their disadvantage, retreated rapidly. Elena exhaled deeply, allowing herself a moment of relief. "Damage report," she ordered. "Minimal impact on our side. It appears the trap worked effectively," reported the chief engineer from the lower deck. As the crew assessed the situation and made necessary repairs, Elena reviewed the battle data. "This encounter confirms it. Our presence here is no longer a secret, and our enemies are more advanced than we anticipated. We need to accelerate our plans." Convening with her senior staff, Elena laid out the next phase of their mission. "We can't just play defense. We need to gather intelligence on our adversaries and their capabilities. Tycho, set up a recon team. Scylla, work on enhancing our sensor sweeps and cloaking tech. We need to be ghostlier than the ghosts hunting us." The team nodded, each member aware of the increased stakes. They dispersed to their respective duties, driven by a renewed sense of urgency. Meanwhile, in the shadows of a distant moon, the surviving Spectres regrouped. Their leader, a seasoned warrior with a scarred visage, contacted their command. "The Earthship is more formidable than expected. We need reinforcements and a new strategy." As the message traveled through the cold digital channels of space, the Galactic Empire convened an emergency council. The balance of power was shifting, and not in their favor. The council knew they had to act swiftly to counteract the burgeoning threat posed by this mysterious Earthship, a vessel that had proven it could strike from the shadows just as effectively as any in the Empire's fleet. The stage in the cold expanse of space, the USS Blackstar's silhouette cut a sleek figure against the backdrop of distant stars. Elena Marquez reviewed the latest intelligence reports with a stern focus, the weight of command heavy upon her shoulders. The recent skirmishes had exposed vulnerabilities, not just in their defenses, but in their understanding of the enemy's reach and resources. "Commander Tycho, adjust our course. We need to head towards the Andarian system. It's time we gather some intelligence of our own," Elena instructed, her tone firm and decisive. "Andarian? That's deep within neutral territory, Captain. It's swarming with mercenaries and smugglers. It could be risky," Tycho cautioned, his brow furrowed with concern. "Exactly," Elena replied, a sharp glint in her eye. "It's the perfect place to find someone who can get us inside information on the Empire's plans." The Blackstar made its way to the Andarian system, slipping into the bustling trade routes that connected the various fringe societies of the galaxy. The ship's advanced cloaking technology kept them hidden from the myriad of sensors and patrols in the area. Upon arrival, Elena and a select team disguised themselves and ventured into the shadowy underworld of Andarian's spaceport. The air was thick with the tang of ionized fuel and the murmur of 100 alien dialects. Here, in the dimly lit alleys and crowded market squares, information was the currency of power. Elena's contact was a well-known information broker named Grell. A creature of indeterminate species, Grell was notorious for his ability to procure sensitive data for the right price. They found him in a secluded back room of a rundown tavern, surrounded by screens displaying data streams from across the galaxy. "You're playing a dangerous game, Captain Marquez. What makes you think I would betray my clients and help you?" Grell hissed, his voice as slick as the oil that dripped from the machinery in his hideout. "We can pay you well, and besides, we can offer you protection against the Empire's wrath, should they ever discover your diversification of loyalty." Elena countered smoothly, her eyes locked on Grell's calculating gaze. Grell paused, assessing the offer. Finally, he nodded. "All right, Captain. I have something that might interest you." He handed over a data chip. "This contains the patrol routes of the Empire's fleets, as well as communications that suggest a massive military buildup near the Krillian sector." Elena took the chip, nodding her thanks. "Stay alert, Grell. We might need more of your services soon." Back aboard the Blackstar, the crew analyzed the data. The information painted a grim picture. The Galactic Empire was indeed preparing for a significant offensive, one that could threaten multiple star systems, including those aligned with Earth. "Prepare all hands for a potential engagement. We need to warn the Alliance and prepare our defenses," Elena ordered, her voice echoing through the command deck. As the crew busied themselves with preparations, an encrypted transmission arrived from Earth Command, offering new orders that would change the course of their mission dramatically. Elena read the message in silence, a mix of resolve and concern etching her features. "We've been instructed to forge alliances here in the outer systems. Earth believes that building a coalition could be our best chance against the Empire's aggression," she disclosed to her senior staff. The strategy was clear, but the path was fraught with diplomatic pitfalls and the ever-present threat of betrayal. As the Blackstar sailed deeper into the volatile political landscape of the galaxy, each move had to be calculated with the utmost precision. The fate of Earth's burgeoning position in the interstellar community hinged on the success of their mission, and Elena was all too aware that in the great game of galactic politics, trust. As the USS Blackstar drifted silently through the asteroid belt of the Lenari system, its hull barely whispering against the cosmic winds, Captain Elena Marquez convened her crew for a strategic meeting. The stakes were high, and the atmosphere in the room was charged with a mix of anticipation and wariness. "We're here to forge alliances, but we must choose our partners wisely," Elena began, her eyes scanning the room, settling on each member of her team. "The Lenari system is a nexus for many of the fringe civilizations. It's here that we can find allies who share our concerns about the Empire's expansion." Commander Tycho nodded, his tactical display glowing with potential contacts. "There are representatives from the Trilax Federation and the Serani clusters attending the trade summit on Lenari Prime. Both have reasons to distrust the Empire." Lieutenant Sila chimed in. "Our scans have picked up a variety of encrypted transmissions originating from the summit area. If we can tap into these, it could give us an edge in negotiations." Elena considered this for a moment before responding. "Do it, but keep it discreet. We can't afford to spook our potential allies." With the plan in action, Elena led a small delegation to the surface of Lenari Prime, a bustling world where the architecture was as diverse as its inhabitants. Towering crystalline structures reflected the starlight next to ancient stone edifices, symbolizing the convergence of the old and the new. The trade summit was a cacophony of alien dialects and the rich aroma of exotic spices. Elena and her team navigated through crowds of delegates and dignitaries, each engrossed in their own dealings. Their uniforms were replaced by local attire to blend in, a mixture of flowing robes and intricate jewelry that shimmered with subtle technology. At a quiet table set apart from the main throng, Elena met with Ambassador Threx of the Trilax Federation, a being with luminous skin and eyes that seemed to pierce the very fabric of space. "Ambassador, we appreciate your willingness to meet. We believe our mutual concerns about the Empire can form the basis of a strong alliance," Elena stated diplomatically. Ambassador Threx nodded, his voice a low rumble. "The Federation values its independence, Captain Marquez. Your offer is intriguing, but you must understand our position is precarious. The Empire watches us closely." Elena leaned forward, her expression earnest. "We are prepared to offer technological support and a mutual defense pact. The Blackstar is only the beginning of what we can share." Their conversation was interrupted by an urgent message from the Blackstar, relayed through a discreet earpiece Elena wore. "Captain, we've detected a squadron of Empire drones entering the system. It looks like they're headed for the summit." Elena's eyes narrowed. "Thank you, Commander. Keep monitoring their approach. Ambassador, this is the proof of the threat we both face. Let's finalize this pact before it's too late." As the meeting progressed, Elena's team worked tirelessly aboard the Blackstar, monitoring the approaching drones and preparing countermeasures. They were not just fighting for Earth's place in the galaxy, but also for the trust of their potential allies. Meanwhile, the drones edged closer, their silent engines cutting through the cold space, a stark reminder of the Empire's pervasive reach. The Blackstar's crew stood ready, knowing that the outcome of this summit could very well determine the future alliances and the fate of many worlds under the shadow of the Empire. Elena concluded her negotiations with a firm handshake, the ambassador finally nodding in agreement. "We will stand with Earth," Threx declared, his voice resonant with newfound resolve. As the pact was sealed, the first of the drones arrived. As the first Empire drone breached the atmosphere of Lenari Prime, the newly formed alliance wasted no time in showcasing its unity and strength. Elena Marquez coordinated with Ambassador Threx and the Serrani delegates from the bridge of the USS Blackstar, now an emblem of resistance against Imperial overreach. "Activate the defense grid," Elena commanded, her voice calm but assertive. The tactical team responded immediately, initiating a series of maneuvers that brought the Blackstar's formidable arsenal online. In orbit, the ship's energy cannons powered up, targeting the encroaching drones with precision. Down on the surface, the delegates watched as the sky lit up with the silent fireworks of high-altitude intercepts. The Alliance's ground-based anti-air systems, augmented by technology from the Blackstar, proved devastatingly effective. One by one, the drones were neutralized, their wreckage burning through the atmosphere like falling stars. In the command center of the Galactic Empire, news of the thwarted drone attack stirred a hornet's nest. Admiral Krax, overseeing the operation, slammed his fist against the console. "Increase our presence in the sector. This alliance must be dissolved before it gains further traction," he ordered, his voice a growl of frustration. Back at the summit, the successful defense against the drone attack solidified the resolve of the Allied leaders. "Your actions today have not only protected this summit, but have also sown the seeds of a formidable coalition," Threx said to Elena, his tone filled with respect. Elena nodded, aware of the challenges yet to come. "We must move quickly to formalize our alliance and plan our strategy. The Empire will not be deterred by one failed strike." The subsequent days were a whirlwind of diplomacy and strategic planning. Elena and her team worked tirelessly with their new allies to establish a unified command structure, share intelligence, and coordinate military resources. The Blackstar served as a command hub, its advanced systems facilitating a level of cooperation that was unprecedented among the diverse cultures of the Alliance. As they fortified their positions and expanded their surveillance networks, an encrypted transmission intercepted by the Blackstar hinted at the Empire's next move, a massive fleet assembly near the disputed border of the Trilax Federation. "We have to assume they're preparing for a full-scale assault," Commander Tycho reported during a briefing. "Our best chance is to strike first, to disrupt their mobilization before they can launch a coordinated attack." Elena considered this, the weight of command pressing down on her. "Prepare all hands for a preemptive strike. Coordinate with our allies for a synchronized assault. We won't let them dictate the terms of this conflict." The following hours were tense as the Blackstar and its allied fleet positioned themselves for the assault. The vast void of space near the Empire's assembly point soon buzzed with the energy signatures of dozens of ships from the Alliance, each one ready to play its part in the upcoming confrontation. When the battle commenced, it was with a fury that shook the sector. The Alliance fleet, led by the Blackstar, engaged the Empire's forces with a barrage of energy fire and tactical maneuvers. The battle was fierce and unforgiving, with both sides suffering losses. But the unity and resolve of the Alliance, fueled by the shared goal of resisting domination, began to turn the tide. As the dust settled and the remnants of the Empire's fleet retreated, Elena stood on the bridge of the Blackstar, looking out at the stars that had witnessed their fierce battle. The victory was significant but costly, and the road ahead remained fraught with danger. Yet in this moment of quiet after the storm, there was a sense of hope.